better start talking.
Soon any mom and pop will think they could.
Hey, chill.
Wendy's bucket of nuggets and bucket of chili. So you can make a little chicken nugget cereal.
Oh God, Book 2.
Did you just come?
Soon any mom and pop will think they could sell Gallo in Vice City.
Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother.
Oh yeah?
Now, Adam, if at any point our test gets to be too difficult, you can drop out of school, you can take the money you've earned, you can leave with it, but before you go, you must look into that camera and tell millions and millions of people, I am not smarter than a fifth grader.
I agree.
Dear Dan and Adam, congratulations. Your voluntary submission to participate in the long walk has been accepted through lottery. You now have the rare honor of representing Arizona as a symbol of hope in these economically desperate times. The entire nation will be watching the live broadcast with admiration and awe. If you win, unimaginable riches and a single wish await. A chance to break free from today's financial struggles and inspire the nation. Please report to the starting line on Sunday, February 15, by 9 a.m.
Good morning, fellow YouTubers.
Hey there, friends and family. This is Dan. I'm here with the Dan and Adam Are Afraid podcast. It is episode 88. It is February 15, 2026. I'm joined here, as always, by my co-host, Adam.
Hey Dan, what's going on, man? I got my walking shoes on, ready to go for a stroll.
You ready to go for a stroll?
Just a nice leisurely walk with friends. Wait, what'd you say?
It's like I never know how to open these podcasts. I need to focus on that.
It's just about
oh yeah,
oh yeah, oh God.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to play asshole.
Don't want to play asshole with me, kid. You lose every time.
That's every time I hear that, for some reason, I think of, it sounds like Hank from Breaking Bad. I watch too much Breaking Bad though, so after a while, everything sounds like Breaking Bad.
I love the edit of him discovering that Walter White is Heisenberg. He's on the toilet, and then he's like, and then someone edits in just a bunch of plop noises.
Plop, 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 plop. Yeah.
Plop, splash.
Since we're on that subject too, do you know he does not wipe? We don't see him wipe after he discovers Walter White is Heisenberg. He just, next we see is him getting up off the toilet.
Hank Schrader?
Hank Schrader.
There's a Hank in the movie we watched today.
Hank. I love a good Hank.
Hank. Fuck, I didn't get to rewatch this movie today. It really upsets me, but that's fine. Sleep won last night, guys. I let the sleep win.
Nothing wrong with that. I think that for a lot of my life, like I have disregarded sleep, and it is something that I think has been very detrimental to my health. Got to get your sleep.
While we're on that topic, folks, rate the podcast on Apple or Spotify, leave a review, share it with a friend, send it to your family, hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe, drop a line, leave a comment, slam that notification bell. Join the Discord, hang out and chat with us. Follow Dan's Night Out on Instagram and check out our other links in our description. Dan and Adam rely on the kindness of listeners like you, taking the time out of your day to make a difference. And our bargain remains. If you leave a review, we will read it on the show, live on air. Thank you. Now on to the program.
You know, we've had some, I've seen some unfamiliar names in the Discord. Maybe one unfamiliar name. Do we shout them out? Do I ask you live on the air, who the hell is this person?
Who's that?
Burning Luna. Is that a secret? Is that a friend?
That's a family
yours?
friend.
It's a family friend.
That's a family friend. They're forced to be there.
They're all family.
If you're out there and listening, join our family. When you're here, you're family.
When you're here, you know, this podcast is really about family.
This podcast is really about family. I got some topics today, Adam. The TikTokification of Dan and Adam. I brought up a topic to you earlier this week, and I said, hey, Adam, we should get on TikTok. We should start making TikToks. And this was inspired by me watching I Love LA. And they have an episode where they have like a, you know, like in Atlanta, they have the Drake episode where like, we're at Drake's house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At this one, they're at Elijah Wood's house.
Oh, nice.
And it's clear that Rachel Sennett has seen Atlanta. I think she was quoted as saying she rewatched it before she made I Love LA. Check it out, everyone. I Love LA. But they did like, it was some really like satirical, like, hey, we're going to do a TikTok. And they have like this whole studio set up in this house to do TikToks. And it's like, I was like, man, we should be doing TikToks. We could do something. The idea I had was once a month we should pick an episode we like and then act out a scene from it in a satirical manner and point people to our podcast.
I didn't ask you this in real time. I wanted to ask you this here. Are we reenacting scenes from the movie or scenes from the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scenes from the movie, I think would be the fun thing, because that's the thing people can connect with.
At first, I thought we were going to be, you know, there's like, if you're scrolling through TikTok, sometimes you'll see these podcasts on there, right? And it'll be a guy, you know, camera reverse shot of two guys on a podcast. Some of those podcasts don't even exist. So I pictured it something like that, where we'd be like, so Dan, Adam, it's dab.
I mean, someday we might have some. I mean, I don't know. The thing is that I always come across, so thinking about this stuff is I'm like, I'm an artist. I'm not a TikToker. So everything we do and approach, I'm trying to do in a slightly purple way, slightly different way than you would normally get it. And hopefully that'll pay off in the long run. Or not. I mean, who cares? Who gives a shit? Who cares? I don't care anymore. Do you care, Adam?
I feel like I want to yes and you and say I don't give a fuck. But if I were to be honest, though, Dan, I actually don't give a fuck either. So
I'm just doing this to talk to my friend every week. If you guys want to join us and join our family, feel free. Join the Discord.
Who's your friend you're talking to every week?
Adam. Adam is afraid. Adam is ashamed. Why are you ashamed this week, Adam?
Oh, man. Do people really want to hear that? No.
This is content right here.
Little behind the scenes. I just want to give out a word of warning. When you're editing, just really got to be focused. When you're producing a podcast, you really want to pay attention to what is selected when you're sliding the dead space out, because every now and then, if you have too many things selected at one point, you're going to unintentionally start cutting things. And that's what I'm pretty sure that's what happened this week.
I've run into similar things myself. Like I'll accidentally have multiple sliders selected and I'll be bringing volumes down for multiple tracks, and I'll have to be like, oh shit, when I do that, did I do that 5 minutes ago? And then I'll have to go back and change things. But I will just say, like, unfortunately, yes, podcasting is like editing in any shape or form. You know, the editors we talk about every week, there's such an attention to detail that is required. Even for something that's as throwaway as a podcast, it is crazy. And when you have I think we had 7 tracks total, including the soundboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes it hard. Yeah. It took me a while to get, so yeah, the edit was a little messed up and I had to clean it up. I'd restore it like a fresco, like an Italian fresco, like in House with Laughing Windows. But that will be up soon. We're a day late, unfortunately, folks, but your Valentine's Day Bully episode is coming, and you should see it today, February 15, 2026. It is done. It's done. I'm not doing anything else to it. I'm not touching it.
Speaking,
are you excited? Are you excited to hear it? I guess you already heard it.
I've heard it. I've heard it was a painstaking go. You know, it was one of those edits where I had to be like a lot more involved because like 6 different people talking. Various different mic qualities. I mean, there's times, you have to like be in there.
You got Tyler with just a headset.
I was pretty pleased though. Like, and that's a word for any aspiring podcasters out there. You can just do this with a USB head mic, and there's gonna be a little bit more difficulties when you're editing, but you can get that podcast out there. Everyone has a podcast.
I just set the gate
nowadays,
threshold a little bit higher than normal for Tyler. had a lot of room noise.
A lot of room noise. Yeah. It was
a great episode. I was glad to have everyone. That was a shocking episode. Spaghetti showed up out of nowhere. Everyone started leaving. It was like the long walk. People started dying.
Yeah, that's what you did hear. When the mics shut off, there was a gunshot.
Warning number 1, Adam.
Like, no, but I just had to use the restroom. Bam.
All right, the TikTokification of Dan and Adam. It's coming, folks. Look out. UN report on water bankruptcy. This is actually going to tie in really nicely to our last topic here, but I wanted to highlight this. I don't want to be Mr. Doomer all the time, but it is important to bring up. Did you hear about this?
This is the first I'm hearing about it, Dan.
I'm glad I get to break the news to you. The United Nations, the UN, released a new report warning that the world is entering a new era of water bankruptcy, meaning countries are now using water faster than nature can replenish it. Not mismanaging it, bankrupting it, like a resource you can default on. How do you feel about that?
Well, my understanding of bankruptcy is that it's a good way to start over. If this is I guess we just got to start over, right, with humanity. Have to start.
I guess so. Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's pretty terrifying. You always, you watch movies like Mad Max, Fury Road, where water becomes this tightly controlled, hotly sought after commodity. And I think the point of that movie is that it works out for everybody, right? Like we all get,
like in Waterworld too. Yeah.
We all get cool. Yeah, I mean, Waterworld, you get, you might grow gills, so...
Dude, we got to talk about Waterworld on this podcast before the world ends.
Dude, I'm gonna go right now. I'll just go ahead and lay down. I love that movie. I love Waterworld. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Put out like a 4K.
Maybe I'll hate it, but when I saw it as a young child, that movie was awesome. No. I $624.
There's like a certain I memorized all these.
I've been listening to Alison Krauss since I was a little boy.
So just some little bullet points here. Half the global population already experiences severe water scarcity at least part of the year. Climate change is accelerating droughts, heat waves, rainfall, unpredictable rainfall. Overuse and pollution are pushing rivers, aquifers, and lakes past their breaking point. Food production is at risk because agriculture uses 70% of the world's fresh water. Cities are expanding into areas with no long-term water security. Arizona. Conflicts over water access are expected to rise. The UN's language is unusually blunt, basically saying water is no longer a renewable resource. Report is calling for massive investment in water infrastructure, better management of groundwater, climate adaptation, and a shift away from treating water as an infinite commodity. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Yeah, that's all. So.
Fuck
Not
off.
good, but does fuck off.
Fuck off.
It does tie into our movie today and our next topic. So I wanted to bring this up. This is the Harmony Korine Hollywood Reporter article. Did you have time to look at this?
Yeah, sorry, that made me laugh. Like, it ties into our next topic. And speaking of the world ending because of water sources, Hollywood director Harmony Korine has stopped reading books.
Wait, how about you go ahead and read this for me?
I don't have. Let me pull it up. I don't have it up.
Let me give you the link. I'm gonna give you the link, bub. I'm putting it in general, right underneath the very nice webtoon Catch by Edgelord. Everyone check it out. I really am enjoying that webtoon.
Hollywood Reporter reports Harmony Korine avoids books, doesn't see movies, and thinks AI is the art form that holds the most promise. The provocative director is feeling his artistic oats It's just that the art isn't cinema. So, what books have you been reading recently?
I haven't read a book in, 2 or 3 decades.
Have you seen any movies that you've liked? Sinners? Weapons?
No, I didn't see those. I watched Smokey and the Bandit recently. What did I go see in the last year? I saw Smurfs 2. Rihanna's Smurfs. I saw that. I look at the list of nominations for awards. I've only heard of two of them. I don't know why that is. I used to live in the movie theaters. Now I don't even know who all these people are.
You've also been producing far fewer films, working instead in a kind of post-cinematic space.
Yes, more post-narrative, sensory, experimental kind of entertainment.
And AI.
Yes, of course.
Many filmmakers say it's push-button and regurgitative, and they have plenty of evidence, though your AI work definitely contains a distinct vision. What do you say to those who argue the only thing it can really create is slop? Just synthesize what's already been done.
I think it's the very beginning. We're just at a point of understanding what we're capable of with it. And then there's a world where aesthetics take over, and we use it in a way that's not really about the idea of realism, but turning it into something more transcendent and experiential and beyond a simple narrative articulation. It's the idea of adapting it as a tool or a paintbrush. Of course, nobody wants AI slop, but that's not what it will be. AI slop works well for social and for really short form content, but the idea people are chasing now is there a way to add emotion?
The anti-AI set, the Guillermo del Toro's and other directors and plenty of our readers as well, would say that sounds good, but you can never really achieve that.
I don't understand how anyone can say they're anti-something that's potentially creative. If it's not working for you today, it could work for you in a year from now. Soon conversations like that won't even matter. It's like discussing the internet. It already is. But I also think you should not even try to use it to imitate movies or traditional narratives or classic IP. It's a losing battle. You use the instrument to create its own form, its own logic, its own world.
Meaning we're getting thrown off because people are trying to map AI onto traditional art forms.
I don't want to be a spokesman for AI, but personally, I'm trying to create something in a specific way. Something that moves beyond traditional media or content, and what the bounds of that are. Are we heading to a world where we can share cinema telepathically? I feel like even leading with technology is a disservice. That part should almost come last. If you're leading with how it gets made, people will be skeptical. If you're trying to use it to win an argument, you will lose. These things have to work on their own.
Do you think it does right now?
For me, it does. My interest is pretty visual. It's like, wow, I can sit at home and animate and make cartoons. It comes from a very creative place. Technology has started to parallel my dreams. This is something immediate, in its own form. Not a top-down language, but a magic of creating something new. It's the thing I've been chasing my whole life. It's what comes after everything. It's feeling, emotion. Something beyond logic.
I do feel when you watch AI movies, the stuff actually being made with the tools, that it does have a little bit of that surreal post-rational aesthetic. At the Runaway AI Film Festival last June, all the movies gave that kind of feeling, like they existed in an alternate dream world.
Absolutely. It's a sense of almost digital drugs. Is there a way to have entertainment that's kind of an emotional vibration? It's the idea of cinema that you can basically be inside.
That's what you tried in this Miami Design District piece that just ran at Art Basel Miami Beach.
Yes, it's an augmented experience where characters come alive in a landscape that's unlike any that exists.
I feel like the same description could have been applied to Gummo and kids. Those also were new landscapes that were unlike any that existed on film.
That's always what's driven me. Trying to make something that I've never seen before.
There are plenty of indie filmmakers who say there are always new rules to be broken within the form. You don't have to cross media. Do you think they have a point?
I mean, those people exist and they can spend their life doing that if they want to. That's up to them. I've been making films since I was a little kid, and all I saw was Hollywood gatekeeping, and I never wanted to be a part of that. I just wanted to sit in a room and do anything I could to understand my own imagination with no dilution. And if you look back at so much what we think of as conventional entertainment, they were also radical in their time, and people were so upset. But after time, people consume them, and you see them everywhere.
Sure, but doesn't that mean everything radical becomes popular or the standard? Every square is a rectangle, etc.
No, that's true. But for me, it's just the following of progression of my own curiosity. We should also be asking if there's a way to have fun again. Is there a way of not knowing the rules and what you're capable of? Is there something that hasn't been done? Is there a sound or an image, a moment to discover? My interest comes from not knowing and feeling like there's something new to find or create.
Speaking of something new, I do have to ask about a piece of yours back in Tradland. There's a whole new Spring Breakers being planned by the producers who own the rights, with Bella Thorne and Grace Van Dien, and all these new 20-something actors. You're not involved in that. Why is that?
I have no interest in it. The first movie exists. It already is what it is for me. The thought wouldn't even enter my mind to be involved. I can't imagine why you'd want to make another one, because it already exists.
Is it a compliment people want to continue the story?
No, not really. It's already its own thing. There's no need for a sequel. But it's not up to me.
Will you see it when it comes out?
Nah.
And that there was the Hollywood Reporter interviewing Harmony Korine.
No, everyone clowned on this immediately, including our Discord, including our sweet MJ. I don't know. How do you feel about all this stuff? How do you feel AI in 2026, Adam?
There is definitely a part of me that can see where Harmony's coming from, and we were so into Baby Invasion, which had extensive use of AI. I think that in the hands of I think if anybody else was saying this, I would roll my eyes at them. But hearing Harmony talk about it, I'm like, okay, I can see it with you. And
I think my point was like, I can see it. It's just like Gummo. You know, he looked around and said everything's shit. And he said, let me do something new. Everything's boring. Let me do something new. I mean, the thing he's using is just controversial. And I mean, and I kind of want to talk about that. I don't know. I think it's pretty like, I do think I think it's very liberal to be like, these damn AI, it's taking all the water. When I'm like, you guys are driving cars, you're doing like 80% of the damage.
You're looking stuff up on Google, which itself uses water resources. Yeah.
It does seem a little hypocritical to be like completely like, you can't use it at all. And then I'm going to go drive a truck. Like, I don't know.
Reddit here. I got something in response to this. Reddit user Mari925 says, my mom asked me if the dishes were done, and I'd yelled, Harmony Korine. She hugged me. She knew they were washed.
Yes, I did pull up the Harmony Korine subreddit. Shout out. I kind of hate some of you guys. This is what happens when you don't let Korine direct the sequel to Caddyshack. He's so fried. I don't understand the angle on being tired of contemporary film, but the AI or I can understand the angle. But the AI shit is stupid.
This is what happens when you move to Florida. I think
when is he going to learn that the majority of people using Gen AI are not young people, but old, out-of-touch boomers like himself? Gen Z only uses ChatGPT to cheat at school. Nobody really gives a shit about its creative ability.
And almost like I said too, like if it was anybody else doing it, maybe I would have. And there are. I mean, if you were to bring up if we found out Spielberg uses a lot of generative AI in his new movie coming out, I would definitely roll my eyes and be like, that's stupid. In the hands of somebody subversive, like I think they're going to subvert even the use of how they're using AI in the film. I'm like, okay, no, but I'll check that out.
There's a difference between like watching the Super Bowl and like there's like, I don't know, 50% of the commercials are AI and look like shit. And then what Harmony Korine is doing. Go check out the art, Basil.
Yeah. I mean, I think of, just simply the use of AI in aggro drift where now I'm basing this, you told me this, but that like it was being trained on their own art in that movie, correct?
That's what they said. Yep.
That's what they
said.
Their
own artwork and stuff. Which I mean makes sense if you look at the generative stuff that happens in the movie. It's like their demon stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, in like the usage, like in Baby Invasion, like that was a real film that had like, well, okay, as a real film, it was a film of some sort that they made. You know, it was very, very much something they worked on, and then they used the AI after the fact. And I thought that added a whole different jarring level to everything. And now, can you do that every time? I don't know, but I also don't think to me, what I know of Harmony Korine is that it won't be like that every time. If it is, then then he's washed. But you know, I would be more excited to see the stuff he's been working on with it.
I feel like everybody's just discounting what he's saying. I think he's saying how he's feeling. And we always run into this with Korine where people think like, oh, he's just being a troll. And I'm like, I don't think he's being that trolly about this. I think he genuinely is interested in the creative ability of AI and he's not going to stop. So I don't know, man. I'm willing to follow him down this trail. I don't give a shit. Baby Invasion's my favorite movie other than like Videodrome. So sorry, the rest of you guys making movies can't do it as good as Harmony Korine. So try to do that first. Almost said a misogynistic slur there, but I'm trying to hold back on the podcast now.
Holding back on the podcast. Don't worry, folks. If you want to see us be sexist and racist, come on to the Discord.
Come on to the Discord. So I want to be alive, Adam. I want to be alive. It is episode 88. We watched a movie this week. Is that right?
That is right, Dan. We watched The Long Walk from 2025.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
I'm Ray Garrity. You can call me Ray.
Prima Freeze.
Hank Olson's the name. Walking's my game.
I ain't many that are built like me. I'm the last of my kind.
We did the very first long walk years ago to inspire everyday people.
Smile, boys. You're on candid camera.
Man, you gotta not think about the things out of your control. Think about your plan.
Personally, I can't stop thinking about all that money.
You'll never find another like me. I'm the last of my kind.
First warning. Okay, just keep walking. That's right. Just keep walking.
Yeah, that's it, kid. That's
it. Second warning. Third warning.
It takes heavy sack to sign up for this contest. I'm not gonna go through the whole rule book, but it boils down to this. If you fall below the speed of 3 miles per hour, you get your ticket. Walk until there's only one of you left. Who's ready to win?
Yeah, it took me a while to realize the truth of this. This is walk or die.
Warning. You'll walk as long as you can.
Warning.
But sometimes the body won't listen.
Warning.
For some, your heart will stop.
Warning.
For others, your brain.
Warning.
And the blood will flow suddenly.
Warning.
There's one winner. And no finish line.
The Long Walk is a 2025 American dystopian survival thriller film. It is episode 88. Thanks for joining us on episode 88. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm glad you're here as well, Adam. Love having you on my team, bud.
There's no winner, or there's no finish line in this podcast, though.
Yeah, there isn't, no. One of us might die or quit, though. We'll see what happens. I want to go through these taglines. Let's go. No, actually, Adam, go ahead and read me that IMDB summary.
A group of teenage boys compete in an annual contest known as The Long Walk, in which they must maintain a certain walking speed or get shot.
The taglines. The task is simple. Walk or die.
Walk or die.
Join.
You could be the next winner.
The road awaits you. This was directed by Francis Lawrence, Adam. Have you ever heard of Francis Lawrence?
I can't say that I have.
This is super interesting. I spent a lot of time getting into Francis Lawrence. We're going to learn some stuff about him today. So if you've never heard about Francis Lawrence, you're going to know all about him at the end of this podcast. He was born to American parents in Vienna, Austria in 1971. His father was a theoretical physicist who taught at Cal State. His mother was a president of technology at a PR agency, and he ended up moving to Los Angeles at the age of 4 years old. Can you imagine that? I'm 4 years old.
I could barely imagine 5 years old, let alone 4. And
when was my first memory? Is like 6 years old. How does he know? How does anyone know? He was the assistant director on Pump Up the Volume. You seen that one?
No, but I mean, I know that I probably should. It was when I was in drama class in high school, it was a poster that was up on the wall. Pump Up the Volume.
It's a classic Christian Slater movie. Christian Slater. I don't think we've seen a single movie with him in it so far, right?
Is it me or am I Christian Slater?
Like, I definitely want to fucking see. Obviously, all the I still haven't seen. What is it called? Invisible Man. What's that? Hollow Man.
Hollow Man.
I still haven't seen Hollow Man.
Starring Kevin Bacon.
Well, one day, folks. But after earning his bachelor's degree in film production at one of the big 3 LA film schools, he was assistant director on Marching Out of Time, which apparently was a comedy about time-traveling Nazis. That's like our current government, folks.
And I'm seeing from there, he transitioned. Do you mind if I take this one, Dan?
Oh, yeah, you should. We should alternate.
Yeah, he transitioned from assistant director to music video director. And he made the same connections and interfacing with the same systems that made directors, and you might recognize these names, David Fincher, Spike Jonze, Michel Gondry, Hype Williams, and Jonathan Glazer.
Yeah, so this guy comes from that same primordial soup, but no one knows who Francis Lawrence is, Adam. We'll get into why. He did direct the music video for Britney Spears' 2001 hit single, I'm a Slave for You. You heard about this one?
I'm a slave.
Yeah. From her third studio album, Britney. The video is known for helping Britney transition from her girl next door image to something a little bit more overtly sexual. At times in the video, she is writhing about in a chastity belt as people lick her face. Director Francis Lawrence explained that he wanted the video to move beyond the sleek dance clubs typically associated with Los Angeles or New York, instead envisioning a setting with a more international scope. He described conceiving the club as being located in an abandoned Asian bathhouse, populated by young world travelers who seek out far exotic places. Spears is portrayed as a slave to the music, dancing all day until she and the backup dancers are sweaty and near dehydration, forcing them to search for water. They're really excited when it starts raining. Notably, Britney performed this song at the 2001 MTV Music Video Awards, wearing an albino Burmese python on her shoulders. Iconic.
I think my only memories of that performance were people were calling her fat because she had
That's so crazy.
She had like the slightest ever noticeable bit of a little chubby tummy and
chum scrubbers.
And then, it's
iconic as fuck, man.
And he also directed Justin Timberlake's music video for the hit single Cry Me a River, from his debut solo album Justified, No, it's Justified.
Justified.
I wish it was Justified. That's how I read it. Justified.
I thought that was real. I was like, holy shit. That's
Justin.
a better name.
Justin, This Is Going to Ruin the World Tour Timberlake is portrayed as a creepy stalker that breaks into his ex-girlfriend's home. And here, a personal note, I don't think this is the kind of music that is aged well. Maybe if you specifically played it for some elder millennials or at an ironic aughts party. Too many people making mouth noises, whispering and ad-libbing to the beat. This shit's like Stomp. Very, very, very early aughts. It might be the most 2002 thing I've ever heard in my life, actually. Shout out Stomp. I loved watching your videos in elementary school.
Is that your opinion, Adam?
You heard it here, folks. I remember...
Yeah, it is very 2000s.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom, like on the beat the entire time. He's like, I'm gonna get you, bitch. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Do people listen to this?
Dude, it was a shit for a while.
I was like up at like 3 a.m. losing my mind writing all this. I was like, how did people listen to this shit? By the way, I have a pimple forming on my forehead. You might be able to see it. My third eye is opening.
Yeah, that's the third eye, bro. Don't pop it.
Third eye, bro. He has also directed numerous commercials for clients such as Coca-Cola, L'Oreal, Calvin Klein, Pepsi Cola, Maybelline, Kids, Foot Locker, Bacardi, McDonald's, Gap, Bud Light, CoverGirl, Oldsmobile, and Disneyland. It's a real who's who at the mall and 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah. This guy's directology could be a side project. Or a side scene, yeah.
Let it out, Francis. You got to direct another Hunger Games.
Did you know at 34 years old, with his knack for upending built-in character expectations, he directed Keanu Reeves in Constantine, 2005. And then initially, this is what I thought was interesting. Keanu voiced strong opinions against hiring an MTV music video director. Lawrence was also known for directing, like we kind of mentioned already, but also over 60 music videos for various acts, such as Rihanna, Green Day, Britney Spears, Black Eyed Peas, Let's Get It Started, Jay-Z, Avril Lavigne.
Let's get retarded in here.
Whoa. You're going to edit that out.
Dude, that's the original song. I don't have to.
He also did Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Audio Slave, Be Yourself. I don't know how that song goes.
Be yourself is all that you can. Aren't you a Scrubs fan? Come on.
I'm ashamed. God, he did Janet Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, Lady Gaga, Bad Romance. You know, last night Lady Gaga was here in Glendale, Dan.
Really? I love her.
I dropped off some rideshare passengers. I dropped them off at the concert and I was like, oh boy, I'm excited for you guys. And they gave me a tip. A $1 tip.
You guys are needed. Yeah, that sucks. We took an Uber out to a couple shows and like it was expensive, but I did tip well. Whatever. Fuck those guys.
According to people on the Reddits too, the best tips they ever get are from like working class and below. And I did pick these people up. I feel like I'm betraying confidence, but I'm not naming names. So, but I did pick these people up from a pretty nice, really nice looking home in a nice looking neighborhood. And when I saw that I got a tip, I checked it out and I was like, oh, $1. That's fine, I guess. Assholes.
You continue.
So other videos, other stars include Lisa Marie Presley, Destiny's Child, Garbage, the Goo Goo Dolls, Gwen Stefani, Shakira, Pink, Nelly Furtado, In Vogue, Missy Elliott, Justin Timberlake, the Pussycat Dolls, and My Buttons, Babe.
Pushing up my button, babe.
And the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it was a small time video. I couldn't even tell you what the song was, but he did a video for them.
I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache.
This is where we live now, Adam. We live in the early 2000s. We might as well listen to the music.
Okay, so back to the Constantine and this drama with Keanu. Keanu was like, here's the only thing I want to be clear about. No video directors. And Lawrence, commenting on that, he said, like, I know our reputation. There are people who just want to go out there and make stuff that looks cool. They don't care about substance. They just care about style. Hey, shout out me now.
Shout out.
The decision was ultimately left to Reeves, who, after all, had handpicked the film to follow up the blockbuster success of his Matrix trilogy. He said he was drawn to the hard-drinking title character, who was born with the ability to see half angels and half demons on Earth, and who battles the forces of evil in an attempt to save his soul from eternal damnation, because it was such a departure from any role he had played. Eventually, Reeves responded, wanting to work with Lawrence because he believed that he had a classical narrative impulse in his work.
No video directors. That's perfect.
No video directors.
And then, we love Keanu here on the podcast. Shout out his new John Wick game coming out, where it ends with just him going, yeah. So Francis Lawrence also did I Am Legend in 2007. Lawrence preferred to keep various scenes silent. He watched Jane Campion's film The Piano with low volume as to not disturb his newborn son, realizing that silence could be very effective cinema. You ever seen Water for Elephants, Adam?
I've seen Water for Elephants, yeah, and he directed it. I've only seen it once, but I remember it's Robert Pattinson, right?
I don't know. I know nothing about it.
I mean, it's one of those movies about like the early circus, and which means that it's terrifying. But yeah, it's Robert Pattinson. You got Reese Witherspoon, Christoph Waltz, Hal Holbrook. It's worth watching for sure. It's a nice family feature.
Okay.
You watch that movie with your parents.
Oh yeah. We also got the Hunger Games movies, Adam. I'm just gonna name them all: Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1, Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2. Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in 2023. Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping, most recently in 2026. I just saw the trailer in theater because I went and saw, I should have brought this up, but I went and saw Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die with Sam Rockwell, Zazie Beetz. It's directed by, what's his name? Oh, he's the guy who did Pirates of the Caribbean and shit. Anyway, it was really good. I highly recommend it. And it gets into the AI stuff we were talking about today. Check it out.
Speaking of Jennifer Lawrence films, he also did Red Sparrow. Have you ever seen Red Sparrow?
No, but this guy shouldn't be allowed to direct anything above PG-13. He's a kid's director. What is he doing? I do want to see Red Sparrow, though. I love Jennifer Lawrence, is what I'm realizing as a person. I need to go back and watch all of her movies, except for, I don't know, I maybe will watch all the Hunger Games. Have you seen those?
Dude, I have seen those. I've seen those like kind of recently. I had them on, what streaming service was I on? I can't remember, but they were on there, so I just kept throwing them on. I do like the Hunger Games.
You got the one guy who's in I Love LA, Josh Hutcherson, something like that.
Yeah.
He's in those. PETA.
You're going to be a Hunger Games, PETA.
Oh God,
that's not.
I think Red Sparrow is like a Russian Soviet spy thriller, so it might be good.
Red Sparrow.
Slumberland.
This is White Dove over. Sorry, go on. Slumberland.
Is that a thing? Do you know something? Oh, you're just making a joke.
Okay. I'm making a funny.
Slumberland from 2022. Same year he was tapped and helmed the notorious BioShock film adaptation. Interesting to note, BioShock, one of my favorite video games of all time. Your brother Lance has played it. He loved it. It's in development hell forever. They've been trying to get this movie off the ground since like 2008. And it's still in development hell, kind of. We'll get into it a little bit more. But that's really it, right? Because the Hunger Games, Songbirds and Snakes, 23. And then we get The Long Walk, which is the movie we're talking about today. He's got the new Hunger Games coming out, and then Untitled Bioshock film adaptation. Can you read me that quote from producer Roy Lee for me?
Producer Roy Lee says, quote, "Well, The Long Walk became a reality because Bioshock was delayed for a little bit, where we had to do some more script work. And so as the script work is being done, we shot The Long Walk. And he was already committed to doing the next Hunger Games movie. And so I was just waiting for him whenever the Hunger Games is completed, and the script is being worked on right now."
Do you want to take the good or the bad, Adam?
I'm pretty good, so I'll take the good. I'm a good guy. So
what's the good about Francis Lawrence?
About Francis Lawrence, what are the good? His images are clean, glossy, and legible, even when the subject matter is grim. He's obsessed with control, characters fighting systems, systems fighting characters. He's a director who trusts silence more than people expect from a blockbuster filmmaker. And I think, importantly, he is a technician.
And on the same, it's one coin. We're going to flip it. What's the bad? He didn't choose to do The Long Walk. He chose it because it slotted neatly into his schedule between Hunger Games and a Bioshock adaptation that's been stalled. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Sometimes you want to start a podcast, but it's not time, so you just do a little Ubering.
It's just he didn't choose it, man. He didn't choose it. So, he's doing a job. This is not a passion project. He's not the wrong director, but he's probably not the right one either. I'd say he's well suited though. And yeah, he's a technician. He's not an artist. He's not necessarily an auteur. Earlier we were talking, Adam, right? About he came from the same primordial soup as all these big names: Jonathan Glazer, Michel Gondry, Spike Jonze. But why no one knows about Francis Lawrence? It's because he's just a guy who's doing his job, and he's reliable, and the studios like him. No one knows who he is. Isn't that weird?
It is wild how many times, there's a filmmaker, and it's not a David Fincher, it's not a Steven Spielberg, it's not a Harmony Korine. It's just some guy who's working in Hollywood, and it's like funny. I've seen like a bunch of his movies, and it's not a name that has stood out to me.
Right. Yeah. No, you're never like Francis Lawrence's Hunger Games, No. And then we got JT Mulner, Adam. Have you heard about JT Mulner?
Have I heard about JT Mulner? No.
Were you at least a little happy to see Jay in the picture there?
I do like that little picture of him. It's
he's a genre sicko, Adam. He's like me. He's the human element in this machine built out of IP. He directed Outlaws and Angels in 2016. He shot it on film, which is crazy for a small first-time director. It stars Chad Michael Murray, Francesca Eastwood, Clint's daughter, and Luke Wilson. It has overwhelmingly negative reviews. Read me a little bit about Strange Darling.
He directed Strange Darling, Indie Darling starring Kyle Gallner. Positive reviews. Red Letter Media has talked about it.
Yep, Strange Darling. If you're plugged into the film scene at all, you know what Strange Darling is. It was a indie thriller that came out a year or two ago, and it got a lot of hype. A lot of people were talking about it. We're championing it because it was this small film that had Kyle Gallner in it, and at the time, Red Letter Media was covering a bunch of Kyle Gallner movies and doing retrospectives on him, kind of trying to highlight him as hey, this is a really cool working character actor that's really put in a lot of good work and is trying to do these dramatic roles now, and that's part of it. He plays a serial killer, and there's a woman he's with. I haven't really looked that far into it. I do want to watch it. But early life, JT Mulner, he was born in Las Vegas, son of former singer Ginny and former dancer Duke Mulner. They met working at the Dunes in the 1960s, where Duke later became a card dealer. So we're talking about casinos, Vegas casinos stuff, Fallout New Vegas stuff. He has an older brother who also went to film school, etc. He never really thought he could, be a filmmaker, I don't think. But when he was younger, he had an aunt, Deanna Mulner, who lived in Los Angeles, and in the 70s she ran around with Jack Nicholson, Roman Polanski, and she introduced him to films of Stanley Kubrick, Federico Fellini, and I just like all these little notes here. His father and brother began operating a Freakling Brothers haunted house company from their home in Las Vegas. He had become involved with the company at age 5. He said it was a great household to be from because you're instantly the most popular kid in school. The company is now best known for its Gates of Hell attraction, which became Las Vegas's first R-rated haunted house. To this day, Mullner takes 3 months off from filmmaking around Halloween each year to return to Las Vegas and help his family run that business. So he's just like this weird genre sicko who like runs a fucking R-rated haunted house with his family. I love him. Everything sounds great. I want to check out his movies.
I got too excited.
And I think really
for his short film, The Red Room, and of course I was like, Red Rooms.
Oh yeah, me too.
Not the same. But go check out our Red Rooms episode.
Red Rooms, check it out with Tyler. So that's that. I posted a big photo of the original book here of The Long Walk. Adam, you've seen that? That photo before?
I've never seen that photo before, but I do love how similar that is to the movie poster. I love when they do shit like that.
Yeah, I want to get this novel now. It was based on Stephen King's, or aka Richard Bachman's, his pen name at the time, 1979 dystopian horror novel, The Long Walk. Let me read you some facts about Stephen King, Adam. He's a huge Twitter loser, has bad opinions, is old, and directly worked on the awful 1997 The Shining miniseries. I also wanted to read his tweet here recently about Bad Bunny. He said, Trump didn't like Bad Bunny. The bunny will probably kill himself. Like Jeff Epstein. By the way, release the whole of the files. Can you want to read me some of those comments, Adam?
Yeah, Lauren Haas says, bro is on heroin or something. Allison also chimed in, you could barely write a tweet. How did you write books? Czar of Liberty follows all that up with, they're calling it the drunkest tweet ever posted.
And if you scroll down, you get a little bit of the Shining miniseries kid looking up at the tweet. Moving on. Stephen King is
washed. My mom asked me, is the laundry done? And I said, yes. Stephen King. She knew the laundry was washed.
You see, he's like the elder god looming over this whole thing. But I think the team's good. The team's good. The source material's good. Do you think so? Are you interested in checking out the source material? Do you think he did a good job building this?
Do you think
it's an interesting concept?
It's an interesting concept. Yeah, I would be willing to check it out. This definitely feels more like a book. The movie felt like a book, so I would hope the book feels like a book. I would be excited to check it out.
Then we got cinematography by Joe Willems. It's him. It's a guy. Joe did cinematography for Hard Candy, 2005, movie maybe we should check out. 30 Days a Night, 2007. Limitless, 2011. We love Limitless. I want the Limitless drug so I can do more of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The Hunger Games, obviously, did a bunch of those. Red Sparrow. Nightmare Cinema, 2018. I meant to look up what that is so I can finally know what it is, and I didn't. So look it up for me, folks. Something called Finch from 2021. You heard of Finch, Adam?
No, which is fun. I always thought I was a Tom Hanks fan, and I guess I really don't watch his movies anymore.
He did a whole ass post-apocalyptic survival film in 2021. I've never heard of it. So, yeah. And then more movies with Francis Lawrence. So this is Francis Lawrence's guy. You know, that's very common. We see people like a guy and they stick with him. I would do the same thing. You want to read me a little bit about the editor?
Yeah, we got Mark Yoshikawa. And again, he worked on all the Hunger Games films that Francis Lawrence has worked on. He did The New World by Terrence Malick, and then he did The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. Would you believe it? He did To the Wonder by Terrence Malick, and then changing things up a bit, he did Knight of Cups by Terrence Malick. So this editor is it's almost like, it feels like he accidentally got involved with Francis Lawrence because, you know, he's working with someone like Terrence Malick, and then he's also doing the Hunger Games movies. But I mean, it makes sense why the Hunger Games do look pretty good if that guy was editing them. So And
I got some trippy editing.
I do want to get some Terrence Malick on this podcast. I've never seen, he has so many early films that I've never heard of that I'm like, okay, I guess I'll check them out. It makes me, there's a lot to check out though, like before you even get to like the New World. So
obviously I've heard of The Tree of Life. In New World, that's it. I'm not familiar with him at all other than his connections to Harmony Korine, because Korine's like, I'll direct a normal movie, the Terrence Malick script eventually.
Yeah.
And then we got Peggy Egabalian. She's very small time, maybe had 1 or 2 credits, so shout out Peggy. Music composed by Jeremiah Freites. Go ahead and read me about Jeremiah Freites, Adam.
Jeremiah Freites. He's a songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist, and co-founder of the Lumineers, an indie stomp clap hay band known for the field champ for white people song Ho Hey, featured in every credit card and Subaru commercial ever made. You know, he has a "we all live in a barn now" aesthetic.
I just love that. We all live in a barn now.
This is like sandpaper and silk when compared to the bleak, militaristic cruelty of The Long Walk. His music is known for being earnest, warm, and sentimental. Your mom's favorite indie band. Maybe that does fit thematically with Drudy Greer's character. And it is a little bit like asking Mumford & Sons to score Threads.
Have you heard Threads? Do you know what Threads is?
Yeah, it's like that UK post-apocalyptic movie, right?
Yeah, it is the bleakest thing I've ever seen. I haven't finished it because it made me so upset. Yeah, it's about a nuke going off and like all the aftermath of what would happen. And I was like, I don't even want to think about this. That's like my worst fear. But yeah, it is like asking Mumford & Sons to score Threads. That's amazing.
That's awesome. And hey, this was his first. Did you know this was his first time composing a score for a feature film? Even though he is credited for a short film called Roman numeral 3 from 2019.
Yeah.
And I think shortly after that, he also composed the score for 2025's American biographical music drama Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Jeremy Allen White. Did anyone see this fucking movie? Because it's already on streaming. I feel like I saw a trailer for it, heard nothing else, and then it's on streaming, and I was like, "Oh, this must be a documentary." Oh no, this is the actual movie with Lip from Shameless.
Well, it's got now you know it's music composed by our boy from Lumineers. Stomp clap, hey,
ho, hey, ho. I'm gonna go ahead and admit now that I was a big fan of that.
I'm sure
weird poppy folk music. But
you were definitely living in a barn at some point in your mind space.
I did have a barn when I was like between the 6th and 8th grade. We had a barn on our property in Oklahoma. I played in it. Terrifying.
Yeah, I was also a barn house boy in New York. I get it. I did the same. We jumped off of the top of the shed, big barn, onto a mat for some reason.
That's the fun you have when you got a barn.
I wanted to mention here, produced by Roy Powerhouse Lee. That's my nickname for him because I have not seen a more prolific producer yet. He is the producer who's trying to get BioShock off the ground, has been trying for a very long time, and shout out to him. He also did produce The Lake House. Speaking of Keanu, love The Lake House. I saw that on 35 millimeter. He produced The Strangers, Quarantine, How to Train Your Dragon, the original animated movie from 2010, the Lego Movie. I was thinking about the Lego Movie, Adam, because I remember being friends with you and you went to go see the Lego Movie and you're like, yeah, it was pretty good. And I was like, oh man, I should see that. And I just never saw it. And it's been over 10 years, Adam. I'm never going to see this fucking movie. And it's like so outdated now.
Everything is awesome. Yeah.
Maybe one day. And then there's the Lego Batman movie from 2017. There's the It remake, It Chapter 2 remake, and the Lego Movie 2, the second part in 2019, which I said, there was a sequel? I said, I'm losing my mind. Here's the next, because I read something else right after. It said the film became the franchise's second box office disappointment after the Lego Ninjago movie.
Not the Lego Ninjago movie.
There's this many Lego movies? What the fuck? I was up at like 5 a.m. at this point. I was like, I'm going to get no sleep today. Barbarian, Don't Worry Darling, Strange Darling, he loves Darling, Late Night with the Devil, Minecraft Movie, Companion, Weapons, Until Dawn, Chicken Jockey, and then excitedly, the upcoming Resident Evil movie, directed by Zach Kreger of Weapons and Barbarian fame. Goes on and on and on, folks. I didn't list everything. This is literally just stuff I was like, I want to mention it. But yeah, he's prolific as fuck. Shout out Roy Lee.
And
we got Steven. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to mention Steven Schneider. I mean, he was the producer for Insidious 2010, Paranormal Activity 3 in 2011, and The Houses October Built in 2014.
I like all of those movies. Shout out. Cameron McConomy, several Francis Lawrence films. Is a boy or girl is in a circle. And also Carrie Wilkins. Not much to be said about some of these people. I'm sure you want to read about Ellen Rudder, right?
Ellen Rudder. Let me just say, any woman named Ellen, immediately I'm a fan of. I don't understand what I mean by that, but she did Nobody in 2021. Excellent film. She produced Cult of Chucky in 2017 and The Curse of Chucky back in 2013. So she's got a little Chucky in her.
She got some Chucky and she loves Nobody. I don't know. I haven't seen Nobody yet. Everyone loves it. Rhonda Baker did The Grudge 2019. I said there was a remake. You got Hattie DeJesus and Francis Lawrence producing his own film. And I said here, he's not a traditional producer as he's only produced 3 of his own films. We're going to try to speed through a little of this, but production company Lionsgate, obviously we talked about them last week. Hunger Games franchise, shout out. Media Capital Technologies. So it should be noted here, this is the Lionsgate ecosystem. They're not necessarily linked legally, but they are strategic partners that frequently help to assemble mid-budget genre films and franchise installments. So Lionsgate, Media Capital Technologies, Vertigo Entertainment, owned by Roy Lee, and About Blank. About Blank is hard to figure out. They might be owned or a production vehicle for Francis Lawrence or Roy Lee, not sure. But Media Capital Technologies, Flight Risk, I'm bald. Good Fortune, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, The Housemaid, The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. I just love that title, Sunrise on the Reaping. Ice Cream Man, Eli Roth's new movie coming out, and Stiletto, an Eli Roth produced slasher movie, exciting to hear about. Adam, I wanted to mention this here. You want to read me that last thing about the participation?
Yeah, with participation of the Manitoba Film and Video Tax Credit Program. Looks like Manitoba is a go-to location for movies that need forests, highways, small towns, and anywhere USA vibes. Yes, that's right, folks. We go to Canada when we need anywhere USA vibes. This used to be a proper country. And it reinforces the idea that the Long Walk is a studio-assembled object, not an artist-driven vision.
Important to point out. That's another just, no detail that adds to that, unfortunately. Distributed by Lionsgate. No surprise here, this thing was shot on an ARRI Alexa 35 with Panavision E and T series lenses. I would shoot on an ARRI Alexa, so this is like, I'm just like, damn, I'm jealous. I wish I owned one of these. Mastered via 4K digital intermediate, struck to DCP, digital cinema package for theatrical distribution. We don't talk about new movies that often with this new format, but, it's typical. It's digital. It's clean. Shooting dates, this was shot from July 24, 2024 to September 12, 2024, roughly 1.5 months. And important to note here, Adam, the film was shot chronologically. Something that is not always available to people who make movies, right? It's actually a little rare, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like a film like this, you want
cool.
it shot chronologically, right? Like,
yeah, because at the beginning, people don't know each other as well. By the end of shooting, everyone's like actually friends,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Filming locations, again, Manitoba is Garson, Manitoba, Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So you can see Joey, our good friend, posted some photos here, my research assistant. And you get an idea where Winnipeg is. It is to the north of Wisconsin and South Dakota.
South Dakota?
I don't know. North the Dakotas, yeah. It's north of Dakota and Minnesota. Minneapolis. So that's interesting. I don't know much about Canada. I would love to visit. I would love to live in Canada. Fly me out. Aspect ratio. Adam, go ahead and read me that big, beautiful aspect ratio.
2:39:1, commonly referred to as scope. Apparently, this is the most widely used aspect ratio, despite the dreaded 1:85:1. Looks like traditional 2:35:1 CinemaScope has gone out of fashion or was entirely misguided, since projection standards were updated to reduce splices from being visible by masking top and bottom.
This is some autistic shit that I have to work out, because I always say CinemaScope makes a movie 2:35:1. Apparently that was kind of maybe misguided as a ratio. 2:39:1 is actually more common and what everything ended up kind of being. So this is basically CinemaScope. CinemaScope makes movie, folks. As John Carpenter said somewhere. Runtime, hour 48 minutes, hour and 8 minutes. Was this too long, too short, Adam?
I feel like this was a very good length. You know, like this movie doesn't feel its length though, because it's so, you think it should, right? Because it's kind of a bottle movie, like a bottle episode. So it should feel long. It should feel like it runs on a bit. Like the film should feel like you're going for a long walk, and it doesn't.
I had no issue with the length. I think 148 is good. I think if you pushed it to 2 or longer than 2, I'd have issues, but it was good. Release dates, I only have one to worry about because this is an American goddamn film. September 12, 2025. We released United States on a Friday. What were you doing September 12, 2025, Adam?
I was still thinking about September 11th, actually. As all good Americans should be.
So September 12, 2025, we had just recorded and released our episode, or we're about to release our episode, Brave Little Toaster with Jared.
Yay!
Episode 65. Yeah, that's what Dan and Adam were doing. I didn't see this in theaters. I had no interest, but maybe I should have. Notable competition for that opening weekend. I was really interested to do this because it's like we always talk about old times, like 2001. What does it look like today, Adam? Well, we had number 2 spot for the month that had come out the same day. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle. It made $70 million in its opening weekend to 3,300 theaters. The landscape has changed, Adam. We got Demon Slayer up top. Number 3, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, assumedly like a big finale movie for Downton Abbey. We got Long Walk here, number 4 spot. So Long Walk didn't do bad. We usually talk about these movies and we say they did poorly. Long Walk did pretty well that month. It was number 4 of the entire month and made 11.7 million to 2,800 theaters. So not bad. We had Toy Story doing its 2025 re-release. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. R.I.P. Rob Reiner.
Damn, R.I.P. baby.
That's his name, right?
Yeah, Rob Reiner.
Then we got Sound of Music, had its 60th anniversary release, and The History of Sound, a gay period romance film starring Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor. You cannot escape Josh O'Connor if you try, and Paul Mescal's getting there too.
Yeah.
Read me the notable competition for that month outside of that release day.
Notable competition for the month of September 2025 is, so we had The Conjuring, Last Rites in this open at number 1. Number 5, you have One Battle After Another. And I would just like to note, opened in 3,634 theaters, and it made 22 mil. Not too shabby.
Pretty good.
Though, of course, I wonder what their budget was, but
a lot.
Then you had,
I don't think they're not making that back.
Then you had him, famously opposed by Joey from Kentucky. I haven't seen it, but I want to see it. It sounds interesting.
It did better than Long Walk.
Oh, yeah.
Open with a bigger number. Damn.
Number 7, we have Weapons. Number 8, we have Hamilton, the 2025 re-release. Now, I'm assuming that's Hamilton, the
Yes.
in the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
Apparently, they did like a recording of the actual show and then put it out in theaters in 2020. I was unaware. This is 5th anniversary re-release.
Wow. What else could be said?
It opened with almost as much as The Long Walk to way less theaters. You got some fucking nerds going.
Nerd alert. At number 9, we have Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. And then number 10, we have Freakier Friday. I never saw that. I saw Freaky Friday. You think that I would be a millennial who has to go and see Freakier Friday, but I did not.
Well, we know what we know what Tyler, our brother Tyler, Warboys, was doing this month. He was watching Freakier Friday, and then I went to go see Weapons and one battle after another. I also think it was right at the end, right, and I was about to go see Smashing Machine. So I was seeing movies, just not these ones, not The Conjuring: Last Rites.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie, Long Walk, had a budget of $20 million, Adam, and it opened to $11 million. So it made back a decent amount on its opening weekend. That's why I highlight opening weekend, because that's when it's going to make the most of its money. Total worldwide gross was 62. I mean, honestly, this is the exception because it did well worldwide, but 62 million worldwide. It made its budget back. It made like 3 times its budget, which means it made money, Adam. Francis Lawrence will live to direct another day.
Maybe he'll get to make his Bioshock movie.
Southland Tales?
Yeah, right.
Hopefully it's a Southland Tales, yeah. Now I want to talk about, I want to let you talk about our buddy here. I really only highlighted 2 cast members. We're going to get into it more, but I want to focus on these 2 before we get into the movie. Go ahead.
So yeah, main character Raymond Garrity, that guy's played by Cooper Hoffman. And so his character is a walker who aspires to win and exact his revenge against the Major. Something I'm just finding out now because I'm a very bad podcasting host. Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. Cooper was 10 when he passed.
Literally, I was watching this. I was like, he's so much like his dad. Holy shit. That was my first comment because I hadn't watched anything with them yet.
Like, I've seen pictures of them together. Or, well, not together, side-by-side photos of like one as Cooper Hoffman as an adult. And yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see it because my first thought was, wow, they really look alike.
I was going to bring up a note here. Cooper was 10 when Philip Seymour Hoffman passed. And that kind of blew my mind because famously, Dan and Adam were high on acid walking around Walmart when Philip Seymour Hoffman died.
Damn, is that true? You think?
Yeah, dude.
That happened that time we went into Walmart and I came up while sitting on a bathroom toilet.
Yeah, this is when we read the news. We're like, oh shit. I was like, I love that guy.
Damn.
This guy was only 10 then. We're old as fuck. Shout out Cooper Hoffman. Come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast. What do you have to lose? Yeah, and he grew up around. Obviously,
oh my God.
He grew up around his parents' creative circle, obviously. And as a kid, he made iPhone action sequences with none other than Paul Thomas Anderson. It's true what they say, folks. A lot of your success in life will be tied, maybe not a result of your parents' success, but it will be tied in with their success.
Yeah, but maybe he can bring us up with him. So come on the podcast.
He was in Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Cooper's film debut. That is Cooper's film debut, not Paul Thomas Anderson, just in case I confused anybody just then. He was in Wildcat in 2023, an Ethan Hawke directed biographical drama film. He loves directing these. He was in...
They're not his first one.
He was in Saturday Night in 2025. And it's funny, that
struck me. It's so old. What the fuck? I thought it just came out.
Right. He was in The Long Walk.
Whoa.
And Poetic License, a Maud Apatow directorial debut, and it will release in May 2026. I'm actually kind of excited about
Apatow
that.
fame?
I like the Apatow, Mr. Apatow. Is that how we refer to him? Mr. Apatow?
Yeah, I'm always excited to check it out. I don't know what else. I guess it's her directorial debut. I think she's acted in a few things already. I think she's in like Euphoria or something.
Euphoria. Get arrested.
I'm excited about this next one, Adam.
I Want Your Sex. Oh, and also, sorry, that was just a comment I was making to my my co-host.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 2026 film he'll be in, I Want Your Sex. It's a Greg Araki erotic, say that's 5 times fast, Araki erotic thriller film. Araki was quoted stating, I read this article a few years ago about how Gen Z doesn't have sex anymore. The thought of this generation not having those experiences was kind of a concern for me. Yep, that's what... It's a film about an older man wondering why the younger people ain't fucking.
It's going to be like The Dreamers. Yep.
And then Artificial. It's an upcoming biographical comedy drama film co-produced by Luca Guadagnino about the controversial firing and rehiring of Sam Altman by OpenAI.
Fuck you.
Sam Altman will be played by Andrew Garfield. Fuck off.
That's crazy. I didn't know about that. That's why I noted it. Andrew Garfield's about to be Sam Altman in a fucking social network artificial movie. What the fuck? I'm interested, I guess. We'll see.
Andrew Garfield loves playing what was that? Like executives in movies about people getting fired and losing their job and losing their empires.
Yeah, that's true. It is very social. That's probably why they cast him. But I'll check it out.
So yeah, we have a little trivia. God, it is just so crazy how now some of this trivia makes sense, Dan, because I just totally glossed over the fact that he was Hoffman's son. And now I'm like, oh, that's the father he lost. So yeah, in real life, Cooper Hoffman lost his father, and in The Long Walk, The Long Walk asks him to confront that loss directly because his character, Raymond Garrity, is a young man grieving the unexpected loss of his father, who talks about trying to find his own way while keeping his dad's memory alive. Questions that Hoffman also frequently ruminates on. Watching him do so, the viewers bring their own knowledge of Hoffman's history, making the walls between art and life feel especially thin. And eventually, commenting on that, Hoffman said, "When your trauma is on display for the world, there's no actually hiding it." He continues, "I'm like, I might as well talk about it, or I might as well put it into something. Because if I keep hiding it and running from it, that's not fair to anyone else who has gone through that. I'm here to display this person and this experience as honestly as I can, and hopefully someone else watches it and goes, he sees me, he understands me. And that's, in my opinion, the only reason to do any sort of art."
So yeah, very, very touching, emotional thing with Cooper Hoffman, obviously. We also have David Jonsson as Peter, or Pete McVries, a kind and selfless walker who befriends Ray. For 31-year-old David Jonsson, my age, art was a saving grace in his working-class immigrant East London household, where he was taught by his cinephile dad to revere classic films like Malcolm X and Waiting to Exhale, but whose reality was a world away from Hollywood. He found an outlet in theater, starring as Romeo in a local production of Romeo and Juliet and acting in a National Youth Theater play. Theater really transformed me and helped me use some of the stuff that I was really struggling with and find a place for it, he says. He would go on to study at the London's Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. David Jonsson, obviously known for his big, there's other stuff, but for more normal people, he was the synthetic in Alien.
That's right.
Extinction, was it?
Romulus?
What is it called? Alien Romulus. Yeah, I like that movie. So he was the one who's like, "Get away from her, you bitch." There you go. I had to throw it in there. The misogynistic slur. Sorry, folks. That's it. That's our two main leads. We'll get into more. I'm just going to read us a little bit here. Ray Garrity, a teenage boy from a bleak, militarized America, arrives at the starting line of the Long Walk, a nationally televised endurance contest where 50 teenage boys walk until only one remains alive. The rules are simple. Maintain the minimum pace or receive a warning. 3 warnings means you're shot by the armed soldiers escorting the walk. Ray meets Pete McVries, who becomes his closest companion, along with a loose circle of other walkers. some friendly, some antagonistic, all trapped in the same ritualized death march. The boys start the walk in high spirits, joking, posturing, and trying to ignore the reality of what they've signed up for. As the walk continues through rural highways and small towns, the tone shifts. The first boy collapses from nerves and exhaustion, earning the first execution. The spectacle becomes real. The boys begin to understand the stakes. And you hear it there in the trailer, right? He says, "I've just realized this is walk or die." Adam, what do you think about The Long Walk?
Even if I didn't know this was a film, an adaptation of a novel, I turned to my wife a few times and was like, this really feels like an adaptation of somebody's book. And I think, what percentage would you say of this movie? 90%, 95%, maybe more of this movie is just two characters or a bunch of characters talking. And which makes me kind of positively surprised that it did so well in the box office, because maybe nowadays I'm not so into substance-based, the movie can have a little substance, but then I want there to be a lot of style as I get older. And this movie is so much substance with, the right amount of style. And, this we'll get into it later. This movie reminds me of things like The Hunger Games, surprise, surprise, but with one big difference, which was there was no cutting away from the graphic violence in this movie. And I really like that. And overall, this movie was, I thought, really well made and really well executed. And, my wife was really into this movie. So that was also that's also a big thumbs up coming from this side. She's not
I meant to say, yeah, this one you can watch with your wife.
You could watch this movie with your wife. You could watch this movie with your sons, as long as they're, older. Maybe don't have your 5-year-old watch this movie. You'll never get them to go on a walk ever again. Dan, did you recognize, I don't know, you probably knew who was in this movie before it started, but did you recognize Mark Hamill?
No, I didn't recognize it until after we'd watched the movie, and I was like, who's that guy played by? I was like, she's like, my girlfriend was like, that's Mark Ruffalo. What was his name?
Mark Hamill. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Hamill? Yeah, it's Luke from Star Wars. And I was like, what? He looks terrible. He looks awful.
Yeah, well, he has TDS. Or wait, yeah. Trump to yeah, he has TDS.
The Trump derangement.
Yeah, that has really negative effects on the body.
He looks like a chud. He looks like a conservative. I don't know. In this movie, I just couldn't tell it was him. So
interesting to note behind the scenes. This might be part of the trivia, but Hoffman and some of the other guys in the cast, they did not go up and talk to him. They did not talk to him at all on set. They were avoiding talking to Mark Hamill because, you want that characterization of, this is a far off, scary authoritarian figure. And so we don't want there to be a sense of warm feelings. And I guess
we didn't talk about that on Bully, but they did the same thing where when Larry Clark brought Daniel Francesi on set, he was like, "Hey man, you can't talk to Brad. You just need to be hanging out with these people you're supposed to be hanging out with in the movie. Everyone else should be kind of unknown to you."
I mean, I think that works out well. It's the method. It's the method that a lot of filmmakers use, and I think it really shows in this film. Dan, just completely from my own mind, no prompting, what did you think of this movie?
Well, so I didn't get to introduce this movie last week. We ran out of time in Bully, just like we're running out of time now, folks. This podcast has become a monster. But I didn't get to introduce it, but this is my girlfriend's pick. She wanted us to watch The Long Walk. If you're wondering why Dan picked The Long Walk, well, my girlfriend wanted me to watch it. So I try to filter my picks. I try to do a Joey pick, a girlfriend pick. It's not all me. I'm trying to also serve a bigger community of people. So Long Walk, I liked it a lot. think it's important to watch these movies days in advance, because had you asked me that right after, I might have given you a different response, more reactionary response. And that's how I feel about watching movies now, is I really have to sit and think about them. But I really like this movie, and I really like the cast of characters here. We didn't mention everybody, but you got, I don't know, there's so many people, right? There's Hank Olsen, played by Ben Wang. He's one of my favorites. He's the kind of pent up Asian guy. I don't know how to describe him other than that, but he's like the character that'd be most like me, probably. Unfortunately. Did you identify with any of these characters, Adam?
I think the kid who gets a Charlie horse at the beginning and like gets plugged. That was my.
Who's that, Adam? Who is that, by the way? Who is that kid?
Gee, I don't know.
Roman Griffin Davis as Thomas Curley, a young walker who appears to have lied about his age in order to get in. You'll know him from Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. Damn. Yeah, no, I didn't recognize him.
Damn, bro. You didn't recognize anybody. You're like, who? You're just watching this movie with a bunch of unknowns. You're like, I don't know anybody.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who are all these young actors I've never seen before? Never seen their father in movies that made me cry.
But yeah, he was in Jojo Rabbit, which I thought was shocking, right? Because you're like, oh, it's the kid from Jojo Rabbit. He's the first one to die.
Blam. Boop.
I guess when I started the movie, I had asked my girlfriend questions like, can more than one person win? I'm like, what? I was so confused. I was like, what are the rules? Like, do you actually die? And they answer them pretty quickly. Like, they're like, hey, if you step off the road, you die. You'll get warnings. You know, you get one warning. You get a second warning, you get a third warning, it's 5 seconds, then you get shot. So it's like one warning, 10 seconds, second warning, 10 seconds, third warning, 5 seconds, then you get shot, you're dead. You get your ticket punched. I don't know, that's horrifying. And there's just so many like things we could talk about with this movie too. Like in this post-apocalyptic society, everybody signs up for it, right? They're like, it's not a choice. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know anyone who hasn't signed up for it? I wanted your take on that, Adam. What'd you think about that? Would you sign up for the long walk in this society, you think?
I mean, in this society, we don't see much of this society, but like I don't know, I guess like the subtext is that it's just, you know, there have been like wars, there has been economic downfall. So if this is the only way to get your family, like, you know, kind of like in the Hunger Games, to get your family ahead of things, still, no, I don't think I don't think I would sign up about it. But I did see Stephen King talking about this, where he was like, you know, someone was like, "Did you intentionally write this to be about the Vietnam War?" And I mean, he said he didn't do it intentionally, but obviously it's gonna like leak through, and it makes me think of the draft, you know, the national draft, where it's like everyone signed up for the draft, where. So it's like you signed up, but I mean, no, you didn't.
I wouldn't want to sign up, but this movie tells a very interesting story of what would happen if we as a society let Harmony Korine make too many cool movies with AI. I guess, what is The Long Walk? Apparently it's described as like a morale booster, right? He's like, we do this every year annually to boost morale and production.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the whole...
Seems weird.
Well, it's like the whole battle royale thing where you send, you know, a number of kids to the slaughter as a way of like hyping up the rest of the country. And the rest of the country is really into this shit. I mean, you get to the end of this movie and it's like giant crowd being like, woo, they want to see a kid get shot in the fucking head. So yeah, maybe in this society I would, you know.
I know. I love that when, cause there's so many things to talk about, but Cooper Hoffman at one point, his character, what is his name? Fuck, I keep forgetting his name. I don't know how I keep forgetting his name.
Garrett.
Ray calls them pigs at one point. He's like, look at these pigs. And Pete's like, don't call them that. And I suffer from this shit all the time. So I really appreciated that moment where, Pete tries to humanize the fascistic even element of the people in this country. Something we have to deal with here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to. I wish I could remember that scene more clearly about what Pete might say, but it's very easy to look at people who aren't actually connected to the system that's holding everyone down, but they are like, they're going along with the flow, and it's hard to look at them as like just regular people like you and I, because you're like, but they support something so monstrous and brutal. But then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what have they actually done? Are they doing anything that is monstrous and brutal?
It's like your average MAGA voter.
Yeah, like you and I have more in common with one of them than, say, one of these vote blue no matter
Nancy
who.
Pelosi.
Yeah, like when I'm like at
Chuck
work.
Schumer.
When I'm at work, like so often, like I really do keep politics out of the conversation, because the people that I'm most like relating to and like having connections with have abhorrent political opinions. I don't want to talk about
pretty
that,
common.
but I'm like, but me and that person, we also like watching movies. We like, we like tinkering around on the computer. So it's like, do I really want to create this divide between you and I, even though we're in the exact same position, regardless of what the other person believes?
How would you feel about joining the long walk? Like, isn't that concept just mind blowing in and of itself? Like, they get there, they're like, everyone sits down, they're like, I'm trying not to think about it. Like, you've been pulled for the lottery and you will probably die. There's 50 people.
Yeah, you have a 1 in
50.
1 in 50 or a 49 in 50 chance of dying.
I don't know, something like that. It's still terrible odds either way. It's scary, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you do get the feeling they don't understand those stakes until it starts happening?
Right. Yeah. Like, I think, somebody who like joined the military, I didn't have, showing up on your first day, like, yeah, it's kind of like, you're nervous, you're scared, but you don't really know what's going on. And then like, once that first introduction to your drill sergeants happens, that's when you realize it's too late for me to back out now. And what the fuck am I going to be doing?
Yeah, I was really interested to hear your opinions on the military side of all this, because it is very much just like a lot of stuff I don't know about. A lot of stuff I can't necessarily relate to outside of just being, if I was forced to do this. I mean,
a forced walk is quite awful, like not walking, because it's not a walk at your own pace. Like you're literally I wonder if
3 miles per hour.
I wonder if it'd be easier because you have like a speedometer, but I'm just like, how are these guys continuing after one day? Like the thing
they're having trouble, dude. They're dying as they're doing it. Their bodies are falling apart.
I think it's really cool.
Some of you lose your minds.
I really like the aspect of them sleeping while they're walking.
Yes.
I always remember trying to do stuff like that. Trying to sleep while we were on a march.
Is that possible?
I don't think it is. I think, but then again, I mean, it might be, as long as you have somebody there to kind of nudge you in the right direction. But I have to think.
Yeah, that's a really weird element where, Pete, I guess Pete doesn't really fall asleep at any point, but Ray falls asleep constantly. It's like constantly how they transition scenes. Ray fell asleep again.
I mean, I guess people sleepwalk.
Yeah, it's
already,
true.
So
that is true. I could believe it in this scenario, this insane scenario. One of the characters I wanted to shout out to, there's so many, but one of the characters I wanted to shout out was the guy who looks like Chad Michael Murray's son. He's like the rebel. He's the one everyone hates.
Oh,
loves to hate.
What is his name?
And he goads another guy into basically dying though.
Yeah.
I think it's Barkovich.
Yeah,
Charlie Plummer.
Gary Barkovich. Yeah.
He's known for stuff I haven't seen, but he's great. I really enjoyed Charlie Barkovich. He's one of my favorite characters. And I really felt a lot of sympathy for him in this scenario. He was the only one taking it seriously at jump one. He knew what was happening. And you even get the discussions with, I think it's Pete, who's like, I thought when push came to shove, a little flag would come out of the gun that said bang.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I thought was going to, because like they don't straight up say you're going to get shot when they're reading out the rules, right?
No, he says you get your ticket.
Yeah. So like I was under the impression like until they pulled a gun on that one kid on, we just said his name, Barkovich.
No, that's I guess yeah. Because he tests the limits at first by tying his shoe.
Yeah, and
you can get 3 warnings, but then they fall off every hour after that. So he had to get 3 warnings, and then he watched them fall off after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I truly thought it was going to be like a you're out. I guess it is, but it's you're out.
That's why it seems like such a weird thing to volunteer for, because it's like you're volunteering your life, buddy. I guess. Is it worth it, Adam? It's not worth it to us in our cushy society, right?
No, yeah. It maybe if we were all living that Hunger Games life, then yeah, it would be worth it.
Yeah. I like the guy who loves God and is religious. He's cool too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Art?
I think so. Yeah. There's so many characters. This is a very big ensemble. I want to name as many as I can. The nerdy kid who's taking notes, his leg gets all twisted up, his ankle, God. And he walks miles on it. And I'm like, that's crazy, dog. My girlfriend's going to be so mad I didn't name him by name. Billy Stebbins, maybe? An athletic walker who's knowledgeable about the long walk. No, he's one of the last ones who goes out.
I believe
he's
this
like the
is
son of the major.
Richard Harkness, played by Jordan Gonzalez.
There you go. You know, let's cut to the bone, Adam. Which death had you squealing the most?
Sorry, I'm thinking. I have to say, I mean, honestly, I don't want to be like, just like Garrity, Ray Garrity's death. I mean, all the other deaths had me screaming like, "Oh no!" But then, like, once that and can we do spoilers now?
Yeah, spoilers. Ray dies, by the way. Spoilers. We'll be more. We'll throw this out earlier in future episodes. Sorry, folks.
I really love the way that they do that because So here, let's just talk about it. We get to the end of the movie, and that's when Pete. He already kind of like alludes to this. He's like, I feel like I can walk as long as I want. And then when I don't want to walk anymore, I'm just going to sit down. And there comes the point in the movie where he just fucking sits. And Ray is like, no, come on, you got to go. And he's like, wow, look, you got me going. And it's like seamless. Like he just keeps walking and then you see Ray just stop. And then he gets gut shot. And then they fucking, Pete runs back over to him and he's like, no. And then Major gives his final fucking pop to the head with his pistola. And like, yeah, that was the scene. That was the death that had me being like, no. Though it's like kind of like, well, one of them is going to die, but.
Yeah, the whole movie you're thinking like, because even Pete says, he's like, if I win, I'm going to make sure there's 2 winners. And you almost think like maybe he can pull it off and him and Ray can win this one, right? That'll be his one wish. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to keep Ray. I don't know if he could do it, but you get that feeling of like, oh, this is going to end one way. And it's going to be these 2 guys, right? It's going to be these 2 guys. So everyone's kind of just going off one by one. The one that affected me the most, the one that I've thought about the most since the movie is the death of Hank with the hat. He always has his hand tucked into his shirt. And he's always like, hey, guys, whatever. Fuck you guys. Fuck. When he goes out, he just is screaming. He's like, I did it wrong. He's just screaming all the way to the end. And my girlfriend corrected me because I said it was Ray, but I guess it was Pete who says, I respect the hell out of him for that. He didn't go out quietly.
Yeah.
And, I love that. I'm not going to go out quietly either, you motherfuckers.
I also like the guy who, in number 48, Collie Parker, played by Joshua Odjick. Apologies. He's the one who, like, they're walking and he's the long-haired native guy who just is like, fuck this. And he like runs, grabs a gun from one of the soldiers and like shoots one of them before taking a shot himself. And
strangely effective. They all should have done that.
Yeah. Right. Like they could have all done that. And then but then I guess you don't get the money.
Fuck that. I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. You got competing interests. That is really cool. I didn't mention him and I wasn't sure which one he was, but yeah, fantastic actor as well. Like all the acting across the board, fantastic in this movie. And I did get sad seeing Boddicker, what is his name? the bad guy, the one everyone hates. I didn't like to see him get killed. That was sad. Oh, he kind of loses his mind, right? He starts hitting his head. He's like, fuck, because he has extreme guilt over goading that one guy into dying. Well, yeah. And there's so little people left that he's like an outcast now. He's like the one out.
And he's like asking them, he's like, I want to be can I be part of the group? Can I be part of the group? And they say yes. And then he stabs himself in the fucking neck.
He's like, you remember me? I was like, oh my God. You're going to remember me forever, bitches?
So crazy, dude. Charlie Plummer, like, no, I haven't seen him in anything that I can't remember him in anything, but he looks so familiar. Is it because he looks like
I've heard
Grimes?
That name. He does. He looks like Chad Michael Murray's son. Someone out there will get that and laugh, but he has a recognizable face almost. He looks like he's someone's son. But he's really great. Charlie Plummer, shout out. And obviously we got our two main guys. I was shocked when Ray died. I didn't know how it was going to go down. I think it's a good ending. I want to talk about the ending though. So what's the motivations? Ray wants to kill the Major, right? He's like, I'm going to cause change by killing the Major. I'm going to ask for the carbine as my special wish, and I'm going to kill him right there, and that'll cause change, hopefully. And Pete doesn't like that. He's like, hey, you got to love everybody, man. I want to see you get out of here and give money to, because as these people are dying, one of them's married, and they're like, we need to take care of this guy's wife. Here, give this chain to my mom because I'm about to die, several things. And he's like, I want to see you get out of here and make it and, thrive. And I really like that because, I find myself in a very like, oh, fuck this shit. If I had superpowers, I'd end these people. It's like I'm in that same headspace, and to have someone talk you down, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of helpful. It's kind of nice and good. I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming a lib, but yeah, I like that. And I don't know, the very ending, right? So Ray dies. Pete asks for the carbine, and he kills the Major. And then he just walks off into the mist.
Yeah.
Like the long walk never ended. What do you think about that ending?
I really like the ending. Obviously it's very wish fulfillment. You get to the end and you see he's there, gets the carbine, points it at the Major, and like that's what you want to see. Right? Like that's almost like, you could be like, oh yeah, a little bit surprised that he would just turns around and starts walking again. I just, part of me feels like that, they want to just be immediately like, oh, he's dead.
Well, they make a comment like, it's uncharted territory. The winner's never done that before. Maybe they won't kill you. So I was expecting him to get gunned down, right? But that doesn't happen. Maybe he does, because it's a very surreal, dreamy ending. It really makes me question what happened. And there's an alternate ending, isn't there, Adam?
Yeah, there is, Dan. In an alternate ending, instead of killing the Major, Pete drops the rifle at his side and continues walking, still disillusioned from his wish. Intertitles reveal that he begins mailing 3 envelopes filled with cash each month. One apiece to Hank's widow, Ray's mother, and Art's grandmother, the last of whom also receives Art's rosary and cross, which he had given to Ray before deciding to stop.
And so I love Art. I love him when he's like, I'm going home. That's how I'm going to go out probably. Or screaming. We'll see.
I'm hoping that when I go out, I'm just going to be being like, can you turn the volume up on the television?
Can you turn Mike and Jay up on the TV? I'm trying to hear them talk about Star Trek.
Man, I'm dying before Mike and Jay. This is a terrible timeline.
Yeah, they're really old. They're in their hundreds.
Yeah, they're just half robots at this point.
They're not even that much older than we are, but yeah. Shout out Mike and Jay, Red Letter Media. Love them. And I love this movie. I give it a heart. And I recommend it. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I recommend this movie. I'd go ahead and give it a heart. I'd watch it again. It's nothing. Mike is 47 years old. Sorry, I had to look that up. Yeah. Thumbs up from me. I say go to your local cinema and watch this film.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
You missed your shot, but yeah, check it out. It's hard for me to end these discussions because I just want to keep talking about these movies forever. Let's continue the discussion, folks, in our Discord. Join the Discord. Like the video. Follow us. Follow Dan's Night Out on Instagram. Maybe we'll get Adam to be more active on social media again. We'll see. Fat chance, but maybe. Maybe we'll get him on TikTok.
Fat chance, fatso.
And it is at the end of our episode, Adam. We both recommended The Long Walk. We enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this discussion with us, folks. Adam, what are we watching next week?
Dan, I was thinking that we can continue this Stephen King 2025 adaptations going on. And let's go ahead and watch a little The Running Man with our boy Glenn Powell.
You better start talking. Hey,
soon any mom and pop.
I love Glenn Powell. I also love that movie he's coming out with Margaret Qualley. It's like How to Make a Killing in Business. Love him. You haven't seen that trailer? We're going to do a trailer roundup next week, folks. That's going to be the big thing next week. So we'll get Adam caught up on all these trailers.
Yeah, Adam is PU. Adam stinks. Not out there watching trailers.
I was going to do it this week, but I was like, we already got too much to talk about and go over. As you can see, we're almost at 2 hours. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, that's what this podcast has become, is 2 hours long. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. Adam, do you have any words of wisdom for our beautiful listeners that have listened to us for approximately 2 hours?
As long as your Lyft or Uber driver isn't actively farting inside the car, go ahead and leave them a nice 20% tip. Maybe more if you're feeling generous.
Yeah, leave a tip, folks. Come on, man. You're taking an Uber in the first place. This disposable income, brother.
Come on, man.
And actually, I actually forgot something.
Hey, chill.
I forgot something before we end the episode. There's a user review I wanted to read. I forgot all about. This is from Bennett Vierhoos. So if you're still with us, folks, you get this extra review, and we're gonna laugh about it. I actually highlighted something inside the review. If you're still on it. The whole premise of the movie was terrible. Why would you volunteer for this contest? And then once you're chosen, why would you show up fat and wearing jeans? And then want the others, your new BFFs, to succeed? If the world is truly dire enough for this to be a desirable contest, this movie showed absolutely zero context or background for these boys' desperation. Acting and dialogue were very poor. A lot of just screaming the F word over and over, and expecting me to believe you're a passionate, emboldened teen actor. The ending was a rotten cherry on top, and the fact that they tried to squeeze tears out of the audience for this sadistic storyline is outright laughable. I laughed in the theater. But that's been living in my brain ever since I read that review like days ago. Why would you show up fat and in jeans?
Yeah, you gotta have some nice shorts on for this.
That is our show, folks. Good night. Jazz aliens? Yo, we from the planet Jazz. We're here to take over your honky asses, including you, host of the show.
Jazz alien Quado Mano invented the Big Five sound.
Yo, we're taking you to hell. You could be in hell, bitch.
White monkey.
You guys really have an attachment for that kid, don't you?